Overthinkers are indecisive and tend to live in many regrets. It's not a learned behavior, and when your mind starts to go to a place of unconstructed thoughts, it's because of past experience. Here's my story, dear diary. I overthink things. I overanalyze things. This emotional roller coaster has been a part of my life ever since I was little, up until now. And no, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. But yeah, it's been part of my everyday life ever since I can remember. Um, in everyday making decisions, whether it's being an adult or just going out to have a good time for entertainment, I'm always analyzing things or constantly overthinking and rethinking and overthinking. And it's like I'm killing it with the thinking. But that's what I do. I always find ways to sabotage any given situation because I always think the worst of things. Um, and I think I do that because it protects me. That's how I feel. It's like I'm preparing myself for the worst scenario, the worst case scenario. So when it does hit, it doesn't hit as hard. It doesn't break me. So when it does, it can be like, okay, I know this was going to happen eventually, and I got this because I prepared for it. In my mind, it's like I knew this was going to happen, so I prepared for it mentally. I prepared for it. Like, what if this happened? I'm going to have to do this. So it doesn't hit me as hard. I suspected that this was going to happen, so it's okay, and I can deal with it more better that way. Then I start questioning myself, does it make a difference when I do overanalyze things or keep constantly rethinking things like this? In a way, it does because I see it as protecting myself, preparing myself for the worst. And then sometimes it doesn't because I start to panic. I start having all these issues like depression, panic attacks, anxieties, just everything. Just yeah, I'm just stressing. I just stress myself out. So I created a comfort zone because I know that I stay within this box and don't go outside of it. I know that I'll be safe. Um, and then I made myself believe that it's okay to live vicariously through other people. Um, it was like my own fantasy world, my own world that I conjured up in my head that I could see myself making plans, not stressing about it, just going with the flow. And even though in real life that terrified the crap out of me to go with the flow. I needed a plan. I needed a plan A and I need a plan B. But in my world, in my little fantasy world, I didn't need any of that. I was free. I can do whatever I wanted to and not have to think about the consequences or what can go wrong. So I think that's why I got tired at. And I wanted to actually test the waters. And I did. I wanted to see how I felt for myself. I wanted to see and smell whatever it would smell like. I know that's weird, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to actually experience the real thing. Go out in the world and just experience for myself. Not just live vicariously through other people and their experience. I wanted my own. So I did. And it was about when I was like 18, I tested the waters. I rebelled against the box that I have created. I went against all logic of why my box was safe. And I tested the waters. I jumped in and I drowned, basically. But before I drowned, it was about a few good years that I had in that particular situation. But then it all started coming crashing down. It didn't last long. Whatever happened, I found what I thought found was another safe box. I started giving up pieces of me to that I have never given to anybody. I share my thoughts, my feelings, my everything. I let my walls come down. Every single one of them, I let them come down. So I was on this wavelength that it was amazing. I mean, at first, yes, it was scary because I never experienced this in real life. Yes, in my fantasy world, in my head, I lived it like 1,000 times. But to experience actually in real life, in person, for myself, never. So it was different. It was real. It was like, okay, holy crap, I'm doing this. But eventually I got the hang of it. I got used to it. I got comfortable. I always did think about, okay, if I do this, then what's my next move? And I always had a plan for that. But I have never had a plan for, what if it all ends? What would be my backup plan? What is my plan A? What is my plan B? See, I always have that no matter what, because this is what I was used to. This is what I always done ever since I was little. But in this particular situation, I guess because it was brand new to me, that I was living it out in real life instead of in my head, I never actually thought about plan B. It's like, okay, I made it to plan A. Oh my God, it's real. I made it to plan A. But I never made a backup plan. I never made a plan B. And I think this is why it hurted. And it just crushed so bad when it did. It felt like I got hit by a truck that was loaded with thorns that just pierced through my heart. And took away gravity, and I just kept falling and falling and falling. Where nowhere to go. It's like I just sunk so low, like in a bayou or something, and I was drowning and I just couldn't get back up. I couldn't catch my breath. It's like, it was hard. And it hurted like hell. By now you should know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't think I ever resurfaced. Well, not entirely. Every now and then I'll go back and I'll test the waters to see if something's there. But I don't think I would ever fully emerge back into it again. And I don't think I would ever leave my box again. Walls. I built more walls. I created more rules. And what I've added was, instead of saying what if, for my what ifs, I included what if their ifs, I included that, like, what if they do this, what would be my plan? Instead of always, what if I do this, what would be my next step or my next plan? I included the other person too, instead of just myself. So, if that makes sense. My heart is still shattered. I don't think there would be ever enough of glue or surgery performed to ever put it back to how it used to be, or how it was, where it was safe. And I still find it hard to breathe at times because the memory is still there. It's like an unwanted yes that keeps that keeps reappearing. And it's taunting me. It's like a memory that will always be scarred in my brain, that I always have. Do that to myself. I'm realizing that I taunt my own self now. And it's either because one or two things. It's like I can't figure out if it's because I want to go back in time to that particular event to see if woulda, coulda, shoulda had happened, would it have made a difference? Would I have came out better? Would it have made a difference? If that makes sense. But I don't know. And I think that's why that chapter will never close until I figure that out. Or if I even should pursue that or just give it up. It's like I have to know. It's like I need closure. And I've never got it after all these years. But until then, I think I will always be forever stuck. But I want to thank you guys for taking a minute to just sit here and listen to me and ramble and talk about my overthinking issues and analyzing issues. If you have any comments or tips or anything, just leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and share this if you think this story can help someone else. Everything somebody else is going through the same thing. During this, I figured out a lot of things. I'm just going through over in my head, and I probably think about it more tonight. But I'm not going to taunt myself, but I'll just think I'll better myself from this just because I'm saying it actually out loud instead of inside my own head. So, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.